To close out the month of August, the Necromancy team is at it again, producing some ongoing improvements. So we're going to get into those in a second, but before we do that, a couple of announcements. If you are interested, Jagex is putting out 2 new, really cool looking plushies, modeled after the Wise Old Man and Bob the Cat. These are available for pre-order right now, and are limited edition, so get them while you can, with the offer ending September 30th. If you're interested in these, follow the link in my description to the news post where you'll have a link to the store under the merch update section. Next up, there's a live stream later today where they're going to do a reveal for the September update, which I'm sure we'll talk about on the channel in another video when that gets revealed. So you can go watch that later today, August 29th, 16 game time on Twitch, or wait for my channel coverage soon after. That said, if you have enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you'd like to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Now we're going to look at the patch notes and see what the team's been doing with Necromancy this week. Starting off with some general Necromancy changes. A typo in the Remains of Necrolord quest has been fixed. The soul urn for the Necromancy tank equipment upgrade task will no longer fill when you use a Death Touch dart on the active Reaper assignment, or when the active Reaper assignment has been killed in practice mode. A death mark applied by Necromancy spirits no longer breaks encounters. Players will now correctly face the last altar when within the City of runecrafting area when leaving and re-entering. The Deflect Necromancy curse will now display on the buff bar as intended. Dodging an attack will now trigger auto retaliate. A typo in the Necromancy quest has been fixed. A typo in the Ghost in the Machine achievement description has been fixed. Crafting Necroplasm now opens the Ritual Candles tab if you only have candle materials. Combat level calculated properly in the Wilderness at level 152 as level 140 plus 12. The Potter's Wheel in the City of can now be used. When the player is tasked with killing Jad for the tier 90 Necromancy tank armor upgrade, the game will now reinforce that only the version in the fight caves will count for the task. The buy limit for the Congealed Blood is now 5k every 4 hours. The Ritual minigame tab now shows the output as affected by any multipliers such as Multiply Glyphs and the Tome of Updated the exam for the Robust Memento. Threads of Fate cooldown has been reduced to 45 with a duration increased to 6.6 seconds. Dying on the Ritual site will now spawn your gravestone at the entrance of the site. Following titles now have both masculine and feminine variants: Lord and Lady of Chaos, Necrolord and Lady, and the Lich King/Queen. Antique Duelist Cap can no longer be used to transform on the Ritual site. Abyssal Link Relic description now specifically mentions that it will only work with the Magic Spellbook. Added a teleport option to the City of through the door in Death's office. Added a line of player dialogue after each band member tells the players where to obtain their instruments. The My Skeleton Can Beat Your Skeleton achievement from the easy City of area task set and the Undead Can Beat Your Undead achievement from the medium City of area task set are both no longer location specific. Added improvements to the task set user interface. Recommended tasks can now be pinned to the activity tracker, and a button has been added to view reward details. Now moving on to some general changes. Made changes to how Hardcore Iron Man deaths work. Hardcore Iron players will no longer drop all of their items on death. They instead follow the exact same rules as normal deaths. Hardcore Irons will now be sent to Death's office along with all of their items, which can be reclaimed for the standard fee. Lives will still be lost and items will no longer drop on the floor on death. In certain circumstances, players were sometimes incorrectly teleported outside of Masuda's boss arena. This should no longer happen. Some of the Falador area tasks requirements have been adjusted. Items obtained from reward caskets via rerolling are now broadcast to the player log. Fix the rendering order of the shadow energy in the Rakcha fight so it will always be visible. Arc Glacior hitboxes have been slightly increased. Fixed an issue where cursed magic logs could be taken out of the spirit realm by storing them inside of a wood box. Fixed an issue that prevented the A Cunning Plank achievement from completing. Achievements in the construction path now display a pop-up when completed. Logging out of the second dream during Dead and Buried no longer resets your progress in the dream. The chat window should now be hidden during cutscenes when playing on mobile. Players can now access the beautifully horrifying Dragonkin Tomb area after completing Dead and Buried. The raptor now appears less shiny. Fix the typo in the Gemfall Treasure Hunter promotion and the number of oddments displayed in the confirmation window when re-rolling. The bank standard now accumulates charges from all the bank locations in Fort for Rinthry. Players should no longer get stuck in the dense dense jungle, which separates the Karazi jungle from the rest of Karamja. Fixed an issue where the combat section of the What's New interface didn't open the correct website. The history in the Kinshra book has been removed from the Black Knight's fortress. Boulder Pet and Running Scared Walk Override tokens can now be purchased on the Grand Exchange by Iron Man accounts. Missing graphical option tooltips have been added. Having a follower pet present will no longer prevent the placement of training dummies, provided a dummy will not occupy the same tile as your follower pet. The Fish Info interface for the player-owned house's bathysphere has been updated to more accurately reflect the aquarium prestige progress. Fixed an animation bug with the Acheron Mammoth's charge attack. Players can no longer activate specific premium hairstyles without buying them from the Solomon store first. Added a chat message for the conversion of enhancers to augments in the parcels of the dead events. Fixed an issue with Elite Edemus not playing their death animation. Fixed an issue where the 2% sales tariff was visually applied when selling a bond on the Grand Exchange. Fixed a bug that didn't disable Sliske's health bar after the fight during Sliske's endgame. Protean Enhancer and Prolonger buff icons now match the items used to give them. Players are now able to join others via the friends chat list. Added a safety check to NPC versus NPC attack tests to prevent familiars from attacking unattackable NPCs. And lastly, Ozan and Leela are now capable of damaging their opponents during Stolen Heart's mercenary battle south of Draenor Village. As if your patch notes, links to everything discussed in this video will be down in the description below, so you can check it out yourself. If you missed last week's video, it'll be on screen now. And if you're looking forward to September's update reveal, we'll be covering it shortly. Anyways, with that, I'm out. Aloha.